If you've ever thought, I'm not a born salesperson, I'm not cut out for this, well, that's okay. In this video, I'll be covering the top 12 characteristics of the top 1% of salespeople and how you can get there too, even if you are thinking you're not made for sales. And if you stay to the end of this video, I'll share with you the cheat sheet you can snag to help you get there too. Now, if you're new to the channel and you're about to subscribe, hint, hint, I'm Marcus Chan, founder of Six Figure Sales Academy. And after having trained over 10,000 salespeople over the last decade, I've worked directly with several hundred of them that are consistently earning and performing in the top 1% at their companies every single year, even if they did not start that way. In fact, most of them actually struggled. And I know because I was one of them. But the common thing among all the ones who eventually made to the top and stayed there are that they all have common characteristics and beliefs that took them there. Now you might be thinking, I'm going to say stuff like they're goal-oriented, strong perseverance, creative, high EQ, high AQ, self-started, growth mindset, compassionate, ethical, they work hard, etc. The truth is, that is expected of all really good salespeople. What's important to understand is that these characteristics are a result of the beliefs they have and have developed. And the cool part about beliefs is that we can change our beliefs once we decide to. Let me give you an example. If as a kid, if you believed in Santa Claus, you would behave in order to get presents. But then once you realized there was no fat man coming down the chimney with presents, you went back to just being a wild kid. At least I did. Now I know it's a really silly example, but ultimately the beliefs we have lead to how we view things, and that ultimately determines our thoughts, characteristics, actions, and results. Now, as Tony Robbins, the guy who grew up very poor and is now worth over $600 million, has said, we will act consistently with our view of who we truly are, whether that view is accurate or not. So let's dive into these top 12 beliefs in this video and how you can make those shifts too to become a top 1%er as well. Belief number 1, influence is greater than persuasion. Now, there's a difference here. Think about it. When you try to persuade someone to do something, how does it feel? Let's be real here. You feel salesy and pushy, like you're trying to convince someone. However, when you influence someone, how does it feel? It feels powerful. Think about the most influential people in the world. They don't persuade, they influence. For example, everyone knows Oprah. She doesn't persuade you to buy the book she recommends. She influences because people feel connected to her and trust her. A top salesperson believes they must focus on being influential with their prospect. That means doing the small actions that help them build up their influence and position them to be a person of value to their prospects, such as being properly prepared for every sales call, asking deep, thoughtful questions, not pitching or presenting until they earn the right, and so on. So remember, influence attracts and persuasion pushes. Belief number 2, all true greatness is achieved outside of our comfort zone. Think about anything great you've achieved in your life. This could be winning in sports, getting married, starting a new job. Oftentimes, there's risk and uncertainty. This is a sign to take action, and elite salespeople know this. In sales, it's full of uncomfortable moments. Asking tough questions, going deep in discovery, asking for the business, etc. It's only when we choose to make those decisions are we able to achieve more than we thought possible. This is even when it's wildly uncomfortable. So let me give you a pretty silly but funny example. I remember being 19 years old and I saw this gorgeous girl in a buffet line at a free event on campus. I was intimidated by her beauty, but then I asked myself, what would the best version of me do right now? The answer is easy. Go talk to her. So I went, I talked to her, and we immediately fell in love. Just kidding, okay? She actually completely shot me down and I walked away like a sad little puppy. However, I also realized the best version of me wouldn't give up, so I went back an hour later and I got her number. Now, fast forward 4 years later, yes, it was a lot of sales follow-up and eventually started dating. We've now been married for over 10 years, all because I leaned towards discomfort and took the actions my best version of me would have taken, even though it felt wildly uncomfortable. Remember, nothing great is created in your comfort zone. Elite salespeople believe this and take the actions the best versions of them would. Belief number 3, focus is a superpower. In today's time, our world's filled with distractions. From the moment we wake up until bed, our attention is being pulled everywhere, from social media, Slack notifications, email, whatever. And as a result, most try to multitask and do it all. The top 1% salespeople understands and believes that less is more. Focus is a superpower. They know they have the same amount of time as someone earning $60,000 or $600,000. And instead of trying to do it all, they focus their energy into high leverage activities, IPAs, income producing activities, tasks that either add to their pipeline, move deals through the pipeline, or close pipeline. And when you have this crystal clear belief, you focus on exactly the things that move the needle. You work hard on things that actually count, and ultimately whatever you focus on expands. Belief number 4, to achieve more, I must become more. Elite salespeople know that no one is a born salesperson. They are made. For instance, when I started in sales, I was the absolute worst rep. Even though I outworked everyone. I made the most cold calls, I sent the most emails, I worked the most hours, but I had the worst results. In fact, while my peers were closing deals within a couple weeks of starting, I went 7 straight weeks closing 0 deals. And naturally, I blame my boss for the lack of training, the economy for tanking, the prospects for being jerks, or whatever. But then I heard an amazing quote by Jim Rohn. When we work hard at our job, we make a living. When we work hard on ourselves, we create a fortune. I then realized I actually had not become the version of myself with the skills to achieve the results I wanted. So I started investing into programs, books, knowledge, coaches, mentors. I started working relentlessly on myself. Now fast forward, I've won countless awards like President's Club, was promoted 10 times in 10 years, and earned millions of dollars in commissions and equity. The truth is, all those results are simply a side effect of being the best version of you. And the top 1% of salespeople believe that too. Belief number 5, we learn more from failures than successes. Don't get me wrong, winning is amazing and it feels incredible, but how much do we really learn from it? I'll give you an example. Early on when I was making cold calls, I felt like my face was getting bashed in. Every single no felt like it was cutting into my core. As I got each no, I would get sad or mad and wonder why my life was so hard and awful. Then I started asking myself different questions. Questions like, what can I learn from this? What shifts can I make to improve my results? What's a better way? And as a result, I started coming to different solutions, different ways of doing things until I ultimately got the result I wanted. And the truth is, elite salespeople know this. They've reprogrammed how to perceive rejection, failure, or loss. For instance, when you get rejected or lose a deal or in a sales slump, instead of beating yourself up, ask yourself empowering solution-driven questions such as, what can I learn from this? How can I apply this for the future to my benefit? What can be great about this? What can I do to prevent this from happening again? What can I do today that my future self will thank me for? When you shift your thinking this way, you now pursue action, which leads to a result of some sort and helps you avoid the I should have done this, I should have done that, which ultimately is shaped as regret. This is a powerful belief that leads to strong adaptability, problem solving, and action taking, a key characteristic of the top 1%. So don't fear failure, fear regret, as we can always learn from our failures. By the way, if you're enjoying this so far, make sure to subscribe, as this shows YouTube people like this content, and also hit the bell button and like it too. Thanks so much. Let's keep going. Belief number 6, if it is to be, it's up to me. This ties right into the last key belief. I tried blaming others. That made me feel good in the moment, but it didn't change my results. I realized I had to put the ego aside and need to open my mind to learn. I could choose to have reasons on why I couldn't be successful, or I could choose results. And I realized I had to take 100% ownership for my failures and my successes, and that nothing happens unless I make it happen. I couldn't blame a lack of resources from my boss or my company. I realized that the lack of resources was never the reason dreams die. Dreams only die if we lack resourcefulness. That means taking 100% ownership and finding a way to make it happen. Instead of thinking it's impossible, it's thinking, how can I make this happen? Which leads to belief number 7, investing in yourself has the greatest lifelong return. Warren Buffett has said, the best investment you can make is in yourself. The more you learn, the more you earn. This is coming from a guy who's worth over $100 billion, one of the richest in the world. And I found this to be wildly true, because when you master high leverage skills like sales, communication, influence, copywriting, etc., these skills pay dividends every single year. And elite salespeople know this, and that's why they invest in themselves with coaches, mentors, and programs even before they get good. And then once they are great, they continue to invest to stack skills on top. That's why elite sport athletes do the same, like LeBron James, who's known for investing over $1 million a year on himself, as that is what makes the money and gives him the greatest return. Also, it's understanding that skill mastery can never be taken away from you, whether you lose it all, lose your job, whatever, as you can always rebuild back faster. Elite skills can't be replaced with artificial intelligence. Average skills get replaced. Top skills don't. So that's why investing in them guarantees a return every single time. Belief number 8, time is greater than money. Time is infinitely more valuable than money. To be in the top 1%, you must understand this. Think about a time in which you spent all your money. I know I've been there. Now, did I eventually get more money? Of course. But what happens if you run out of time? Can you get more time? No way. You can always get more money, but you can't get more time. Therefore, time is not money, as many people say. Time is infinitely more valuable than money. Here's how I came to this realization. This was years ago, but I was cutting my grass in my house. It took me 2 years and I hated it. I actually have a terrible grass pollen allergy. So I looked at having a landscaper, and I could have someone come and cut my grass for about $100 a month, basically $25 an hour. I then realized that in that 1 hour, I could have been closing a deal earning $2,000 to $5,000 commission in that hour. And I realized by choosing to cut my own grass, I wasn't saving money. I was costing myself potentially $2,000 to $5,000 instead. So I immediately went and hired a landscaper, and to this day, I still have them, as I realized I was stepping past $100 bills to pick up $1 bills. So as you get money, use the money to buy back your time. For example, if you're taking an hour to go get groceries, but in that hour, you could have closed a deal, been prospecting, you're hurting yourself. You're ultimately trading your time to save a little money. Let me give you another example of how valuable time is to really hammer home this point. Let's say your goal is to make $250,000 for the year, but you don't develop the beliefs and skills that can actually earn you $250,000, and you end up making $150,000. Now, that's not a bad income, but there's actually a cost associated, opportunity cost, meaning you actually cost yourself $100,000 in additional earnings. Now think to yourself, what could you have done to get the extra $100,000? What skills could you have learned that would increase your marketplace value in the same amount of time? Let's say, for example, if you are not a great speaker, but a speaking coach costs you $15,000. If that $15,000 makes you better at influencing communication, and it makes you an additional $100,000, you are ahead by $85,000. That's still an 8.5 times ROI. Let's say that you end up stagnant at $250,000 now for 5 years. Add an extra $100K a year times 5, that's an additional $500,000 in earnings. That's you putting in $15,000 one time and receiving back $500,000. That's like a 3,000% plus return. And if you hadn't done that, you would have cost yourself $500,000 over 5 years. Regret and opportunity costs will cost more in life than anything else. This is why I personally have invested well over $250,000 into myself over the last decade, as I started investing even when I was broke, as I knew the skills I learned would save me time and make me more valuable in the marketplace. So remember, your time is infinitely more valuable than money. Do whatever you can to get more time and to add more value to your time. Belief number 9, we can achieve any goal if we begin with the end in mind. Average salespeople set small goals as they are scared of big goals and do not believe they are attainable. The top salespeople know they can achieve any goal if they begin with the end in mind and work backwards. Let's say, for example, you want to go on dream vacation. Could be anywhere, but let's say it's Bora Bora. Let's say for the dream experience you want, it would be a $15,000 vacation for your spouse and you. But the top elite sales pro works the numbers and reverse calculates it. For example, they could simply double the budget they need to account for taxes to build a buffer. So let's say $30,000. Now they must know they must go and generate $30,000 in commissions to go to Bora Bora next year. If they know they average $2,000 in commissions per deal, obviously there's always accelerators and decelerators, but let's just say on average here, that means they need to close about 15 opportunities. If they know they have a conservative 30% closing ratio, that means they need at least 50 opportunities in their pipeline. Now they can focus their energy on generating 50 opportunities, closing 15 deals, and earning $30,000 to go on the dream vacation. And the cool part is, this is how the top salespeople think. Want to send the kiddo to an awesome summer camp? How many deals will it take? Want to buy real estate? How many deals will it take? Want to buy a new car? How many deals will it take? Want to buy a fun new toy for yourself? How many deals will it take? Want to invest 15K into crypto? How many deals will it take? The point is, anything is possible if we work the numbers backwards and keep it simple. Belief number 10, our behaviors and actions align with our perfect ideal prospect. Your values and actions must be aligned with your ideal buyer. This is what's called the consistency bias as we act in alignment to our beliefs. For example, if you are hesitant and slow to take action when you personally buy and invest in things, your prospects will be too. If you personally buy purely based on price and not value, then so will your prospect. If you're unwilling to pay a premium price to solve your own problems, then you won't be able to ask your prospects to pay a premium price to get their problems solved. There will be too much internal conflict for you. It'll come through in how you speak, how you communicate, the words you use, and more. Let me give you a really good example. I remember about 2 months into my first B2B sales job, I was having coffee with my mentor. I noticed him looking at my dress shoes kind of funny. I asked him, what's up? He looked at me and said, you look like a mess. Your dress shoes are all worn out and completely scuffed. Your suit looks like it's been through a wash a dozen times. It's faded and worn out. Your white dress shirt isn't even white anymore. It's grayish. I can even see the yellowish sweat stain on the neck. I remember turning beet red and I just started sputtering defensively. Well, I've been out here grinding, working my tail off. I'm outworking everyone. And that's why my dress clothes are all worn. I just don't think it's worth it to invest in new dress clothes. He looked me right in the eye and asked, if you're not willing to invest in yourself, how do you expect your prospects to invest in you? This hit me hard as he was right. I clearly didn't internalize investing myself for value, and it was coming through to my prospects. That weekend, I went and invested $3,000 in new dress clothes. It wasn't anything fancy, but it got me 5 decent suits, 6 dress shirts, and a handful of new ties and a few pair of dress shoes. I started taking the actions that I wanted my ideal customer to do as well. I wanted them to buy when they saw value, not just on price. And the truth is, top salespeople understand that we sell how we buy. I'm going to say that again. We sell how we buy. So our behaviors align with how we want our customers to buy. We are decisive. We take action. We buy in value. And ultimately, we understand that we can't expect a prospect to invest with us if we are unwilling to invest in ourselves. This is why those who may excel in a highly transactional sales role will often struggle if they transition to selling enterprise opportunities, as now they might be out of alignment with how they buy. Belief number 11, we are either growing or we are dying. Once we believe we know it all, that is when we start going backwards. The top salespeople know they can constantly learn and improve. They can learn from anyone and everyone. They understand that ego is the enemy and leads to the downfall of every great salesperson. The more they learn, the more they realize they don't know. There's always someone out there doing it better and doing it more than them. And every new level, there is a new devil. By internalizing and believing this, top salespeople are consummate professionals, always in the growth mindset of learning. Belief number 12, mastering selling is the highest level of service. At the core, we simply have a massive belief that we are here to help others. That means we are authentic and real, not salesy or weird. We also believe that our solution can truly help others, and that's why we sell. For example, it's as if we are doctors and our prospects are the patients. If the patient is deathly sick, it's our duty to help them. It's our duty to ensure they take the prescribed solution. It's having that unwavering conviction that if they leave without your solution, they will be in trouble. Ultimately, we are choosing to make an impact. Impact leads to income. Ultimately, to sell is to help, and to help is to be human. So there you have it, 12 of the top beliefs of the top 1% of salespeople. On the flip side, think about what happens if you are on the opposite of these beliefs. What does that mean for you? The inverse is simply being average and mediocre with mediocre results. Remember that our beliefs are a choice, so might as well choose the ones that serve and empower you. Now, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and drop below which belief resonates with you the most. And if you want my simple cheat sheet that outlines these core beliefs as a daily reminder for you, check below the video to access this free download. Also, make sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and the notification for more videos just like this. Thanks so much for watching.